So Ben, defeat on the road today, 4-2 loss rather to Enfield Town. Frustrating one given the chances we had, but ultimately you don't win points if you're not taking all of your chances, I suppose. How did you feel the game went, especially considering we fought to the end?
You score 2 goals away from home, you should be going home with something. The nature of the goals we've conceded today, extremely frustrating.
So obviously we've had a number of changes to the team today. We've got a different goalkeeper in goal who's joined us on loan from Dagenham. I suppose when you lose 4-2 away from home, or 4-2 in general, the goalkeeper's always going to get looked upon a little sourly if you concede 4 goals, but he's made some good saves, and obviously he's learning how to play with a new defence.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we've made a change there. That's one of a number of changes that are in the process of being made. And that's, Jordan's had some good games. It's not necessarily. Obviously we're changing one player specifically, but he's not had a bad start to the season. I just feel like we need to freshen a lot up, and it starts back there. Obviously there's a lot more wrong defensively today. I say we're obviously making changes. It was hard because we had. Yesterday we thought we had certain bodies available in midfield, and it didn't quite work out. And I think we can see where we struggled down the middle of the pitch today, big time.
One face that obviously has come back into the team today, one we're all more familiar with, Marcel. Obviously he's had a very frustrating time of late, getting injured, coming back, getting re-injured again, and he's found it hard at times to hit the back of the net, but he's had a very good game today, bagged himself 2 goals and has caused them trouble throughout the 90. Yeah,
I mean, that was a real positive today, was that we switched up the way we played a little bit, and we got a lot of joy. I mean, on another day there's a hat-trick there for him, isn't there? I thought he had it with a header at the end. He was a handful, which is good. Last week we were struggling for a striker. This week we've got, obviously Jake's had sessions with us now. Rory's back, although he had to come out. I mean, I had to play him in midfield today. Rory Smith playing centre midfield is not what I want to be saying and what I want to be putting out there. And that's, again, no disrespect to Rory, but Rory will run his socks off. But that didn't help him coming back from injury, being thrown in there today. It was kind of round pegs and square holes through that middle of the pitch, which is the engine room of the team. You've got to get that right, and we didn't have that right today at all. And that just didn't give us a sort of foothold to go and control any part of the game. I didn't feel like we had any control with this games this season. I felt we've had control. We looked dangerous, but we didn't have any control in the game. Which proven by the timings of the goals we conceded. You get back in the game, and a minute later you concede. It's quite schoolboy, to be honest.
Obviously, we're going to be out without the services of Westy for a couple of weeks, and Jack Barnes is also going to be out with the injury picked up in our last game. And obviously you brought in the new faces who are going to bed themselves in, I suppose. It's going to be a baptism of fire, especially next Saturday against Corinthian. That's going to be a real haymaker for a game, especially if we're looking to steer ourselves away from this.
No, of course. We've got, as I've said, obviously it was a tough place to come today. With the changes we've had to make, Bode's playing in midfield there, but there's no one else as a centre midfielder that's playing in there with him. We've made changes and putting more players in there that are not centre midfielders. It's not great, but that's the situation we're in. I say we will have some players to come in there, and as I said, I'm making changes. We have to, because quite clearly some of the players have shown they're not good enough. That's again, it's a brutal fact. It's not. We're not just going to keep flogging a dead horse. We're going to change it, and but sometimes it takes time to make those changes. And it was today just come a little bit too early to get a couple over the line that we needed. So frustrating, but all we can do is dust ourselves off, take some positives of the fact that we looked a threat going forward today. Last week we didn't lay a glove on Hastings. Today we looked a real threat going forward. And 1-1, we get a 1-on-1, we don't take it. It's fine margins in games, and they were clinical. I mean, 2 great free kicks from them. They had that little bit of quality that you need.
Just to end on a note, we touch upon this most weeks, just a word for the fans as well. It's not the easiest of journeys in the world. Travelling by train, I understand, the group that came up today. There were comments on the audio commentary that Enfield were providing, the people that you could really hear with the Herne Bay fans, and even at the end, 4-2 loss on the road, the fans applauded the players off, applauded yourself off as well. Their support is crucial, and we touch upon this every week, but given that there are train strikes next weekend as well, it's going to be even more difficult to get down to Corinthian casuals. How, rewarding was it to see that despite the fact you've come away with the loss today, you've seen the fans react positively to the players?
100%. That's all we ask, is that the supporters get behind and support their team. But the people that were here today have never been an issue, because they're the people that support them every week. As I said, it's we've built our own expectation. It would have been easier for me if we'd gone and lost the playoff final, because we would have been a decent side in the league below, and there would be no issues, no one moaning. But that's not how we wanted to do things. We want to get promoted. We want to challenge ourselves, and it is a challenge right now. But it's in the tough times where you find out who's who wants to get behind the cause. The first thing you can do is look at yourself, and that's what I'm doing. And I've asked the players to do the same. It's clear we need to improve, in a number of aspects, and we're going about doing that process. But as I say, it doesn't happen overnight. We've had tough spells before, but again, we're in a much better place now. If I left tomorrow, the club's in a much better place than what it was when I joined it. I back myself to get the team in the right place to get us out of the mess that we're in currently. We'll go day by day and look to get that right.